Hi, this is Ben from FlexSim, and today I'm going to show you how to import from Excel and then auto-build your model from that Excel import. In particular, we're going to be looking today at conveyors and how to configure the conveyors according to what you've imported from Excel. So the first things we need to do are to set up a global table that we'll be importing from Excel into. So you go to Tools, Global Tables, and add a new global table. I've already created one that I'll use called Conveyor Info. So right now it's just an empty table. The next thing we need to do is set up the Excel import that will import into that global table. And I've done that as well, but you do that by going to Excel, and then on this multiple table import you want to edit it, add a new multiple table import, click on it, then you can edit the parameters of this import. I'm going to use column headers, as you'll see in my Excel spreadsheet, and you have to choose which global table in FlexSim you want to import Excel's data into. So I've chosen the conveyor info. You could also specify the workbook and worksheet from Excel that you want to import, but by keeping it the default, it will prompt you which file you want to open. So that'll be fine for me. So I can hit OK and hit Close. The other important things to note are about that multiple table import. By default, it will import into Excel as long as there's data in the first column. So let me open up the Excel spreadsheet that I've prepared ahead of time. This spreadsheet defines two conveyors that I want to import, conveyor A1 and A2. Now A1, I've got three sections defined. These three rows right here is all the section data. A2 has two sections defined. And then in addition, each conveyor has a name, X position, Y position, and Z rotation. Now you could get fancier and have a Z position and rotations around other axes, and you could have other section data that you want to import as well, but I'm going to keep this basic, teach you the principles, and then let you take it as far as you want it to go. So where do I get this section type, length, rise, angle? How do I know how to configure a section? Well, let's go ahead and pull a conveyor into our model, and we'll look at how it's put together. So I've pulled a conveyor out, right-click it, go to Explore Tree, and here you can see how a conveyor is put together in FlexSim. Left-click on the conveyor icon, click on the little arrow, and it'll expand all the data associated with this conveyor. I want to jump into Variables, and under Variables is a node called Sections. This will become very important as we start to build our own conveyors from the Excel import. So if I expand sections, right now there's just one section, and that one section has these attributes: type, length, rise, angle, radius. As far as we're concerned, those are the only 5 we need to worry about. There are some other ones that you could play with in the future if you need to, but for this simple demonstration we won't worry about it. But what I will do here, I'll jump into this conveyor and I'll modify its layout a bit. We'll shorten the length, and I'll add another section. I'll call it section 2. And I'll make this a curved section, an angle of 270, a tighter radius, and a little bit of a rise. And you can see how the conveyor changed in the model as I changed it in the layout GUI here. Now also, while I changed the layout in the GUI, it actually modified the tree for this conveyor. You can see now there are two sections named just like I had them, section 1 and section 2. And then there's the type, length, rise, angle, and radius that have changed. So the first section was a straight section of length 3, which you can see right here. Type 1 is straight, type 2 is curved. Length of 3, length doesn't matter if it's curved, but rather the angle and the radius matter, whereas angle and radius are not taken into account for a straight section. Okay, so that's how a conveyor's sections are put together. So now what we'll need to do is import from Excel, and then loop through our global table that has that Excel data in it, and programmatically build the conveyors, including each of the sections that are defined. And we'll go ahead and do that in part 2 of these videos. Thank you.